All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who were well. Salutation and much love to the Akim out there, pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. And this is the brother Osh, great millstone, Tampa, back with another live lesson, or not a live lesson, but just a quick little video. Lord's will is going to be edifying to the hopeful elect. And I'm just going to go into, the current the news currently that's all over the news, everywhere. The events that are taking place with these wars, which, how long Russia been in Ukraine? Okay, how long has Gaza been being bombed to smithereens? All right, so these things ain't just happened yesterday; they've been happening. All right, and now things are being escalated, and people around the world are gearing up for war. These nations, they know what time it is. It's only you Americans that have been pampered your whole life, and you haven't been affected by these things going on, that you think yourself to be in good case. But no peace talks is going to work. No ceasefires is going to stop anything. This is only going to get worse and worse. Soon the mark of the beast will be made mandatory worldwide. All right. And then World War III will be fully escalated with all these nations involved. All right. So let's just read here Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So yeah, we're past that point. The war's been happening. All right. And now it's escalating. But of course, we know that just because America bombed Iran doesn't mean we're going to be out of here in 3 days or 5 days or whatever, a week. It's on the Lord's time. At the end of the day, no man knoweth the hour but the Father. But these are the signs of the Lord's return. So we know that we're getting close. Okay, we're getting very close to the day of the Lord. Of course, these things have to play out, and it's going to get a lot worse, like the birth pains. But what I really want to hit on is this Joel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get into NLT. This is Joel 3. And because I got some articles lined up I want to bring out. Joel 3:9 says, proclaim this among the nations, prepare for war. In the NLT, it says, get ready for war. But back in the NIV, it says, prepare for war, rouse the warriors, let all the fighting men draw near and attack. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weakling say, I am strong. So the point I wanted to hit on right here is beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And this is what these nations are doing. They're amassing more military equipment, as you'll see in some of these articles I bring out, and even putting more money or the GDP into their military, because they know that World War III is here. All right. And they're going to have to get involved in it, whether they like it or not. So let me get some of these articles. All right. The first one I got here is a Military Watch magazine. It says Russia begins serial production of Orshank long-range ballistic missiles, what makes it a game changer. And this is a day ago. And they've already tested this missile in Ukraine. And you see how they're really not even talking about Ukraine anymore on the mainstream media. And because they're over there getting blown to smithereens. Okay. And Russia's advancing their troops, foot troops, closer and closer to Kyiv. Pretty much the whole southeast is advancing, and from the east as well. But yeah, I don't see Kyiv standing much longer. That Ukraine will be Russia very soon, especially now with the focus on Israel. And now America can't fight all these battles. But so pretty much they're increasing their volume of production of this intermediate range missile system, Orshank, as you see here. It says, which has proved itself very well in combat conditions, is being started, he stated, providing an update on the highly secretive weapons program. The missile service entry marks a turning point for the capabilities of Russia's ballistic missile forces, which were previously comprised solely of short-range missiles, or Iskander M systems, and intercontinental intercontinental radio systems such as the Sarmat, which we know to be Satan, aka Satan. So now they have these missiles and they're increasing the production of them. All right. And these ain't no, little toys. These are some, let me see if they, actually, I think they showed it the first picture. Let's see here. I think it was that one right there. Oh, no, that's the ICBM. But nonetheless, you can look up the actual picture of it if you want. You can see it tested. They got footage of it hitting Ukraine. I believe it was in Kyiv. But nonetheless, they're stepping up operations or production of these missiles. All right. Well, read another one. TheExpress.com. Vladimir Putin heightens World War III fears by bolstering Russia's military output. Russian despot Vladimir Putin has ordered the production of more hypersonic missiles as tensions in the Middle East escalate and fears of World War III grow. See, so the fears of World War III. Listen, if this place was to go on, the Lord didn't return, and people look back, historians look back at the timeline, they would have been said World War III started when Russia invaded Ukraine. Just like we can go back into the history of World War II, and they can give you a date of when Germany invaded Poland, and they say that's when World War II began. Well, guess what? That was a conflict between Germany and Poland, just like it was a conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and now Israel, and not just Iran. What about Syria? What about Lebanon? What about Yemen? Okay, what about Iraq? All the times in the last 5 years, we can just use as an example that Iran has shot missiles onto them. Then you can also allude to the Pakistan and India, which kind of simmered down, but they still shooting missiles too. They still at it. So these things are escalating to, again, full-blown world war. And here it is. Russia is bolstering, increasing production of military output, while you Americans are worried about, who's going to win the series finals or whatever. The World Series. Yeah. So we'll come back to this. Let's keep reading the hearsays. And again, the weak saying they're strong. Even look, Iran. Oh yeah, Iran is a bunch of pushovers. Whoop-de-whoop. They don't have no nuclear missiles. But here they are standing up against a country that does have missiles. And other countries are stepping up now. They're speaking up against the West, or the beast system, really. In America, the whore that rideth upon a beast. And Amalek out there. All right? Those least of the flock. People are starting to come up and speak out against them and back in Iran. Okay, or saying they will anyway. Which they will, according to biblical prophecy, Russia being the head one. All right, to be a guard unto these nations, pursuant to Ezekiel chapter 38. But nonetheless, you got all these nations saying, look, America's bombing places, and then say that it's in the name of peace. I was watching the president of Niger, I believe it was, talking about that. He said, look, I know it was the president of one of them African countries, war-torn countries, right? He said if America, if we need nuclear missiles to keep nations from bombing us, I guess that's what we're gonna have to do. So these nations are saying they're strong, man. They're not laying down no more because the Lord's putting a spirit on them to fight. That's why he's doing what we see on the news right now. He's gathering these nations, as we're gonna read. It says, "Come quickly, all," verse 11 in the NIV. "Come quickly, all you nations, from every side, and assemble there." Where? Right there where you see the Middle East at. What you see on the news, the Levant. All right. The Middle East. It says, "Bring down your warriors, O Lord. Let the nations be roused. Let them advance into the valley of Yehoshaphat," or Jehoshaphat. So that's what you see coming. All right. It began with Iran and Israel, but more nations will amass into the Middle East. All right, with boots on the ground. This isn't gonna be the rest. Oh, they just gonna keep shooting missiles. Then they just gonna keep shooting cruise missiles and drones. Yes, that's a big part of it, modern warfare. But they're gonna eventually have to put boots on the ground, and we can easily prove that. Okay, let's go to 2nd Ezra 16 and 33. It says, 2 Ezra 16:33, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Right, because this mandatory draft, or this draft, the conscription is coming. It's already happening around the world. In Ukraine and Russia and Israel. All right. They, well, it's mandatory in Israel to serve, but the conscription's happening. People are getting rounded up, setting off and getting set to battle. It says in the wars, what wars? Well, the wars that you're gonna see, that you're seeing happening, and ultimately World War III. All right. It says, in the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish to the famine. So there you go. People are gonna start dying in these wars because they're gonna be sent out there to the Middle East. All right, you Americans, you're gonna you tough Americans, you're gonna one day get a call, or a serviceman gonna come knocking on your door. It says, for there I will sit to judge all the nations on every side. So the Lord's got these nations amassing their military equipment, and expediting it too. Put these nations there. They're with the technology now and the manufacturing that they've accomplished, is they able to pump out a lot of missiles, in a short period of time. And guess what? They're gonna need it, and they're gonna need bodies too. They're gonna need foot soldiers, grunts. Verse 13: swing the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come trample the grapes, for the winepress is full, and the vats overflow. So great is their wickedness. Yeah, the wickedness of this earth has gone above and beyond. All right, it's time to expel the wickedness of this world. Okay, chiefly the wickedness of Esau, Edom. All right, and spearheaded by Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, the big Satan, as they call them. The Iranians, they're the Persians biblically, or Elam. All right, they call America Big Satan, and in the state of Israel, Small Satan or Little Satan, something like that. Here's another point: 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is near in the valley of decision. And again, there's going to be multitudes and multitudes of people out there dying, different military, different armies fighting, and of course in the skies, the missiles flying. It's going to be all out war. All right. And there's going to be war here in America as well. Chaos, confusion, death, and destruction. So let's just read a little more of this. It says, Russian autocrat Vladimir Putin is escalating hypersonic missile production amid rising Middle East tensions, stoking fears of potential World War III. Well, it's prophecy. All right. The third woe cometh quickly. Is that in Revelation? Is it 6? Let me see. Third woe. Let's see. Third woe. Revelation 11. The second woe is past, right? Second World War. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So that's what's coming. Third World War. It's not maybe. Fears. We know. We told y'all. Beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, the prophets of the Lord have been said these things would happen, and now they're happening. This aggressive move follows Iran's targeting of American military bases in Qatar. On Monday, a direct response to U.S. President Donald Trump's order to deploy 6 bunker buster bombs on Iranian nuclear facilities over the weekend. So, going to show you that this ain't a game. This is biblical prophecy. What you seeing right here, and we're able to prove it through the prophecies, through the current event articles, the news stations that come out showing all these videos of things going on. Okay, and what else are hypersonic missiles? Them ICBMs, man. So they're getting ready. Hey, because remember, the Lord's gonna completely destroy Babylon the Great with these thermonuclear missiles. They're going to be nuclear. They haven't shot nuclear weapons yet, but those will be shot off from the ends of the earth. All right. And what says, we'll get that next to Isaiah. But let me get Malachi 4:1 real quick. Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. What's going to do that? Thermonuclear missiles. Right? Ain't going to be these ballistic missiles they're using and you see every day in the footage or on the news. Those are cruise missiles, You know, some hypersonic missiles, but the payloads aren't very big. These payloads with these thermonuclear missiles, Satan 2, yeah, that's gonna be a day that's gonna burn like an oven. And it says all the proud. What was America known for? To be proud, right? Proud to be American, the home of the proud, and the home of the bug outs, or whatever the hell they say. It says, yea, and all that do wickedly. America was founded on wickedness, thrives off of wickedness, and it promotes wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth. Shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. This place is gonna be all completely obliterated. Let's see what else we got here. I gotta read it. IrishStar.com. Vladimir Putin to ramp up hypersonic missile production as experts fear the third woe. If Putin is set to ramp up production of hypersonic missiles after Russia's ally Iran was attacked by the U.S. and Israel. So again, this is prophecy. The least of the flock shall draw them out. Is it Jeremiah 50? Is it 50? Or is it, I know there's one in 49. Let's see, Salakia. That's 49. Okay, 49 and 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai. Oh, wait, that's not it. That's not it, Salakia. Let me just look at the least of the flock. Okay, I just had to keep going. Verse 20 is Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh, Bashim Shai, that he had taken against Edom in his purposes, that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman, right, the Germans, which a majority of these small hatters are Temanites, right, or they came from Germany or whatever, Poland. But the Temanites are the wise men, right, of Edom, the wise guys. But the Amalekites, all right, is the small hatters, you know, the real small hatters. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And that's what you're seeing. All right, the state of Israel has drawn out America into the war in the Middle East. Turn on the news, look it up. Say, surely he will make their habitation desolate with them. So the Lord's going to destroy this place via thermonuclear missiles. And Iran is going to get, it's like Israel will be bombed too. Okay. Because the Lord's got to cleanse that wicked ass land that the people have made wicked. You know, it's not the land itself that's wicked. It's the people that have made it wicked. So who else? Turkey, another country that's spoken about in Ezekiel 38. Erdogan vows to boost Turkey's missile production as Israel-Iran war escalates. So again, it's not just Russia. All right. It's these nations that Russia's going to be a guard onto and ultimately be the head, all right, the spear leader or the tip of the spear to go up against America. Okay, just like the Germans were during the World War II, the axis of evil. Well, now the people, they're going to say Russia's the axis, the leaders of the axis of evil. All right. And China, don't forget about China as well. I didn't even look to see if they're ramping up their military, but I wouldn't doubt it. Turkish President Erdogan has said he plans to strengthen the country's deterrence capability so that no country would dare attack it. Planned this week to step up Turkish production of medium and long-range missiles as the war between Israel. So they're stepping up their defense systems and their missile capabilities, beating the pruning hooks into spears. All right, it's on. And this is not going to die down. It might die down for a day or two, but the missiles are going to keep flying. The people will keep dying, and the Lord will return soon. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent. But let's finish off on this, because like we said, they're not ramping things up for no reason and building nuclear missiles for no reason, right? Again, it's the day of the Lord. It's going to be the day America is wiped off the face of the earth. Isaiah 13 and verse 4, this is describing those thermonuclear missiles, ICBMs. Yeah, people laughed at us when we used to say that. All right, and it showed them the sign that said USSR had the ICBM on it. Ain't nobody got nothing to say now because it's all over the news. It says, verse 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, that's like as of a great people. And again, Isaiah's describing it the best he could. There was no ICBMs during that time. All right. It says a tumultuous noise. That's when you hear the missiles, especially the hypersonic missiles, that's going to be a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. That's what the Lord's doing. He's mastering all these nuclear capable powers. They're going to be in the forefront of this world war. And there will be other skirmishes all around the world. Hell, there's wars all over. There's conflicts all over the world right now that people don't even know is happening. But there's going to be the main event. All right, it's going to be the Middle East with these nations gathered there, and then America when it's destroyed. All right, with thermonuclear missiles on the day of the Lord. But even before that, America is going to be in distress. All right, there's going to be civil unrest, civil war, invasion, which it's already happened. But sleeper cells activated and just militias taking matters into just complete chaos, man. Even before the missiles, right? It says, verse 5, they come from a far country. What do the missiles? Right, that's why they're called intercontinental ballistic missiles. They can go from one country to another country, far away. Right. It says, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. These are the weapons of the Lord, ultimately. All right. And then what are they for? To destroy the whole land. Let's see if it says the range capabilities. Maybe it was the other article, but these missiles, whichever one they're talking about, it says capable of 3,000 miles, and those ain't the ones that's the Orshank one, I believe. But the ICBMs, they can travel thousands, 8,000, 9,000 miles. Pretty much they can go around the earth. Okay, reach anywhere on the earth. So they come from a far country to destroy the whole land via thermonuclear missiles. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. See, that's where we're howling. Because the day of the Lord's at hand is coming, is approaching. The signs are here. We're measuring the times diligently, so we know what we're talking about. We can't give you an exact date, but we can tell you the signs are here and they're getting worse and worse. It's like the birth pains. It's not with the first contractions already passed. The beginning of sorrows is coming on. The sorrows are here and they're here to stay, and it's only going to get worse. But it's not like we're waiting for the first sorrow, the first birth pain to happen. It's already happening. The woman has gone into labor, if you will. It says, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. What can cause a whole land to be destroyed? Thermonuclear missiles. All right. Satan, and rightly named Satan II. All right. The most powerful nuclear weapon on the face of the earth is held by Russia. The two most powerful, actually, the Satan 1 and Satan 2 being the most powerful. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. And people are already afraid, and the Lord's just warming up. It says, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one another. Their faces shall be as flames. These people are going to be through. Confused, starving, scared, don't know what to do, where to go, why it's happening. And then ultimately they're going to be burned up. Literally, they're going to be in flames. Verse 9, behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners there out of it. There you go, man. So that's the day of coming. The day of the Lord ain't going to be a happy go day for the majority of this earth. All right. Only the elect will rejoice when the Lord returns to deliver his elect from the four corners of the earth. All right. So, hey, keep watching, keep measuring the times. And by now you should know what time it is. All right. The Lord's making things move. All right. Prophecy is speaking. Prophecy is in motion. All right. It's undeniable. So what manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation? Life as you know it is finna change any day now, okay? But it ain't over yet. I'm not saying that you're going to be out of here. We're going to be in the kingdom of heaven tomorrow. The mark of the hour of temptation, the implementation of the mark of the beast is coming. And before that, they're going to have to cause chaos to bring in that order. So again, I say the life as you know it will change very soon. So, hey, so trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and keep the faith. With that, Lord's one, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone who rule well. And much love to the elected Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.